Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us today. A little later than our usual spot, 1 p.m. Eastern on Friday, the 6th of October. We have a very special guest today, Brett from Precision Trader University. Brett, thank you so much for joining me. How are you today?
Good. Thank you. Thank you for the invite, Corey, and hello to all the surge traders out there.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Brett, so I know you've been active in our Discord before. I know you have your own Discord, but for those folks who don't know you, aren't familiar with your work, share with me a little bit about your trading background.
So ultimately, I live out of the country the majority of the year, so I have two other businesses, but I didn't have anything where it was an exclusively online thing. So it kind of I gravitated into trading. I said, well, I've always had an analytical mind, picking up patterns and stuff like that. We'll give the market a shot. So anyway, started to dip my toes in 2019, and then of course we know everything hit the fan in 2020. And it was just one of those that, it was easy to make money in 2020. I mean, anybody that bought anything,
Sure.
I was all about the 6 month out, call options. I mean, those did phenomenal. But I quickly realized that was not going to be something that was sustainable. At some point, I would have to develop some skill in the market. So from 2021, I started really focusing in on the day trading aspect. Went through the Forex, all the different markets, and really just trying to see where's the highest probability edges between all the markets.
How did you do that? Was that just yourself online, YouTube? Were you looking for mentors?
Yeah. Oh, trust me, man. I have no issue with spending money for education. I'm one of those people that's like, hey, I will pay for the shortcuts, and that's awesome.
Sure.
Part of the reason why I like Surge Trader, again, that's one thing that I preach to traders is there's 3 mountains that we all have to climb as traders. One mountain being capital. There's so many traders out there that are undercapitalized. And again, Surge Trader takes care of that. There's no, there is no issue getting capitalized any longer. But the problem now is, now that we know about Surge Trader, I mean, we just found out about it earlier in the year, and ever since then, just been promoting it like crazy. But with that said, the other 2 mountains that every trader will have to climb is one, the mountain of strategies. You have to find high quality strategies that meet you as a trader. For example, there's a lot of strategies out there that are good strategies, but the thing is, are you going to get enough opportunities? A lot of, and again, are you one of those people that can you lose, 5, 6, 7 times out of a 10, and then that one, that finally that 7th trade makes back all those and then some on top of that? Are you that type of trader? Me personally, I'm not. I don't like to lose that much. I mean, I hate to.
It does something bad to the psychology for sure.
It does.
Those kind of losses, they add up.
Absolutely. So for me, I went on the search of, okay, how can I find intraday strategies? Because again, a lot of people think, oh, day trading is going to be more dangerous. Well, the reality of it is, the longer you put your money at risk in the market, the more at risk it is. So the shorter amount of time you can put your money at play, the safer that you can be. But again, you got to have strategies that back that up. So for me, I really started studying order flow. And again, in my opinion, the Ferrari of order flow, got you a nice one there in the background, but the Ferrari of order flow, in my opinion, is Bookmap. I mean, to be able to see the liquidity, because I mean, there's level 2 a really good level 2, you can see it, but to be able to see it visually. So for me, whenever I got to see the liquidity in the market visually, I started watching it day after day, looking for the patterns, and I quickly came to realize the market, everybody gets hung up on supply and demand, which a lot of supply and demand is objective. It's where you think want to put that line, or where you want to put that supply and demand zone. So for me, I was like, I don't want subjective stuff. I want objective stuff that I can come into the market, rely on day in, day out. So after seeing that, watching that day in and day out, I started realizing, I'm like, there is monster liquidity, buyers and sellers sitting on every single $5 increment. I was like, if I can figure out strategies that will allow me to take advantage of this guaranteed supply and demand every single day, if I can do that, man, that's going to give me a major advantage. So anyway, really just started trying to watch the patterns, because again, there's nothing in the market that's random. So again, I'm specifically talking about the stock market, because again, like I said, the Forex market, crypto, those are nice. But at the same time, when you're talking about the highest probability of success, being able to get into the market for, 2 to 3 hours a day and being able to expect at least anywhere from 1 to 5 entries per day, high probability A setups. You can only get that in the stock market. I couldn't get it in Forex, couldn't get it in Bitcoin. Now, more power to you, if you want to focus on those markets. I can absolutely, help traders that I have helped traders that are in those markets. But at the same time, it's, I'm all about, hey, what is going to allow me to get in the market for 2 to 3 hours a day and have the highest probability of success. So again, started focusing on those $5 increments. Now we have 5 strategies based on those $5 increments and just watching the
Brett,
computers.
at this point, before we get too far ahead, is something you came up with on your own? You had a mentor kind of guide you with this, or
I would love. I've said it so many times, Corey. I would have loved to throw a suitcase of money at somebody to have already put it all together. It's like I really did not want to have to take the time and the losing to learn to figure out what we have now. Granted, I'm glad we have it now because again, I wouldn't trade the strategies, the total of 8 strategies that we have. I wouldn't trade that with anybody now. But at the same time, I would have absolutely loved for it to already been prepackaged by somebody, already put together, and I could have jumped on it right from the beginning. So yeah, that's. I would love to say that I would have had.
Let me ask you this, because we have a lot of guests come on the show, and the strategies vary widely, right? And they all come down to pretty much everybody I chat with. Their strategy works, right? They're using risk management. They're using a high win rate. They're using certain R returns. Why have you chosen these strategies, and why are they different than, say, another strategy that's working for somebody else? Give me a little background on the strategy itself.
So again, I'm not the type of person. I don't have a bias whenever it comes to what works. Okay. I am all about, hey, whatever is going to give me, because again, I've tried all the pretty much probably a lot of all the strategies that people have come on here and shared. I mean, I've tried them, and it's one of those for my psychology type of person I am. It's just, they just don't mesh with me, man. Like I said, they just don't
move you as a trader.
No. Like I said, and again, it's not, like I said, again, you can have great strategies, but again, how many opportunities are you getting? Like I said, I don't enjoy trading when I'm only getting a few opportunities per week. I don't want to be sitting in a swing trade for days. Swing trading is extremely, again, for me, swing trading is equivalent to literally driving your car down the road and then taking your hands off the steering wheel when the market closes. I don't like that.
It's stressful. Taking those trades home overnight is very stressful.
So no, I don't want that. I want to be able to keep my hands on the steering wheel because again, our average play, we're in it anywhere from 2 to 20 minutes. Today we had some trades today that we were in a little bit longer, but again, SPY was as close to a short squeeze that we've seen all year long today. I mean, it was some crazy price action. But again, today's not really a normal price action day.
Give me some figures. What are you looking for? 2 to 20 minutes. What are you looking for as far as risk to reward ratio? What kind of R's are we dealing with?
So with our strategies, like I said, we're leveraging the $5 increments. Now, again, a big part of that too is where are you at in your ATR? A lot of traders, they don't respect the ATR as stock. I mean, an ATR is an estimate of how much gas is in your gas tank. So, for example, we love to focus on stocks that are anywhere from 5 to 15 ATR. Because we know if we're within a 5 to 15 ATR, that stock's going to cross through 1 to 2 to 3 $5 increments in a day, which is going to give us an opportunity every single day. So for us, it's when we're going to those $5 increments. So for example, one of the strategies I share on YouTube. So for example, when a stock gets into a level 2 or level 3 ATR, we break it up into 3 levels. So level 1, that's your baseline. That's the ATR that a stock is expected to get every single day. So prime example, Tesla, okay? Tesla is a 7 to 8 ATR stock. We expect it to get 7. And again, that's new price discovery. ATR, again, there's some confusion with ATR. ATR is new price discovery, price that stock has not been to that day. So every cent that it gets to that it hasn't been to that day, it adds to the ATR. Now, when it comes back into price that it's already been, that doesn't add to the ATR. That's just inside of that. Okay. So ultimately helping traders to find, stocks that are, like I said, 5 to 15 ATR that are going to cross at least $1, $2, $3, $5 increments, because we know once we get in that $5 increment, we're going to be able to take advantage of, for example, one of our favorites. And again, we have close to 1,000, 950 to, somewhere in there trades. And again, I've been keeping up with every single one of these trades since I started sharing it, which was the end of 2021. So like I said, we got about, close to 1,000 at this point, sharing just a couple of the strategies of the 8 strategies. And again, principle is, for example, Tesla, or I give you a prime example, one we played today. We played Meta. Meta today got to around a 2 ATR. I would show you on the chart here, but if I had that capability. But anyway, Meta got to around a 2 to 3 ATR today, around 310. Okay, it's at a $5 increment, and guess what? It gets to 310, proceeds to dump right back to 309. Got us some really nice profit there. Okay, and again, for our stop loss on that, okay, our stop loss on the 310 entry, it's 311.55. It's $1.55. It's concrete. Always.
Got it.
It's always.
And then what are you looking for on the profit side? We were looking for just $1.
Yeah, $1 to $2. $1 to $2 is always going to be your bread and butters. If you want to hold some runner to catch the $2 to $5. Again, this particular strategy is, like I said, we got 8 of them. So again, this was the one that I share all over YouTube, and also too we have hundreds and hundreds of trades on it. So again, understanding that right at the $5 increments, okay, and then $1 on the side of it, because what happens a lot of times in the market, especially this year, more than I've seen in 2021, 2022. This year, you've had a lot of instances where they've gone through the $10 increment and went $1 through it. Okay, we call that our push through strategy. So whenever you get through a situation and they hit a $10 increment or a $5 increment and they go $1 through it, it's the most guaranteed money in the stock market. Now
that's your new entry. That $1 through it, your new entry, and you're going to run it back down the other way.
Exactly. They come back to the $10. Feel free to back test this for yourself. Get on a.
Sure. I'm familiar with it.
That
pullback is.
Oh yeah, it's
powerful.
Oh, it is, like I said, it is the highest probability money. Now again, you want to be in a stock that has a nice bid-ask spread. Okay, you don't.
So I would imagine you guys are watching a consistent basket of stocks. You're tracking
exactly
the same
Tesla,
8, 10,
Meta,
12, 15 stocks every
Nvidia.
day.
Exactly. We got a sweet spot of about 8 to 10 stocks that we're keeping an eye on. Now again, we'll go through
their patterns. You're familiar with them.
Exactly. And again, the main thing is their ATRs. We know as long as we're in that, ideally the 8 to 15, that's more so. Once you start getting to that $4 to $5, it's like, sometimes you get an opportunity, sometimes you don't. But once you get in that $7 to $8 to $15 range right there, you're going to get at a minimum 1 to 2 opportunities on that stock per day. And whether that's at the $5 increment or, like I said, on the push through the $1, because a lot of times we play both of them. For example, today we played both of them. We played 310 Meta and we played 311 Meta. Both of which gave, right around $1. So granted, that's only around $2 a little bit more to pick up there. But at the same time, whenever you're being able to play precisely on these levels, and you're being able to play with, because of Surge Trader, you're being able to play with decent size. You throw down, you throw down 200-300 shares, and you grab $1 off that.
Yeah, absolutely. Do it a couple times, right?
Exactly.
Now, how are you managing risk for this particular strategy? Is it no more than 1% of the account, kind of as a rule of thumb, or are you going beyond that?
No. Everything is objective. There's never a situation where, it's here or there. No, everything's always objective. It's always, it's always $1. The highest that you can go on this is $1.55 above the $5. So, for example, on Nvidia or Meta today, 310, the stop is 311.55. No questions asked.
Always, no questions asked. There's no room for interpretation there.
No. The only time.
How about account sizing? Let's say somebody has a $100,000 account. What's the max you want them to risk?
So on a 100K account, the idea, again, if you keep in your stop, you can go pretty heavy on your size. So for example, you got the 100K account, you got 1,000 shares available to you. If you want to ramp that baby up to 500 shares, 600, 700, because again, that you're going to have a very, very tight window, and we're only going to be in one stock at a time. So it ain't a situation where you're going to be like, I'm going to be in 3 or 4 different trades at once. It's like, no, very rarely do we find ourselves in a situation where we're in 2 trades at once. So it's one of those that somebody with a 100K account, they can absolutely, step up their size in these type of situations. Now, again, a lot of times with that recommendation, like I said, we'll play, for example, the 310. Again, I'm recommending a quarter position to a half position. So again, if your full position, say, is 500 shares, well, you'll get 250 shares on 310, and then for some reason you get a rip through 310 up to 311, you got the guarantee it's going to come back to 310. Okay, you're going to grab you another quarter there, another quarter at 311, and again, you put yourself in a situation where you're going to win or break even. Okay, because I always tell the traders, the more trades that you can get in, that's going to at least give you a win or break even proposition. But that's as good as it gets in the stock market, as far as I'm concerned. So
exactly, it sure is.
Now again,
because you got to outweigh those losses. You're going to have losses. You got to outweigh them.
Absolutely. Now again, I'll be honest with you. There's not, again, there's opportunities where it's just you don't want to take your stop. And again, we've all been guilty of that, because that's the third mountain. Like I talked about, the three mountains that every trader has to climb. One's liquidity or enough buying power. Surge takes care of that. No problem. That's an easy one now. Now, used to it wasn't. So many traders in the past, it's like, I don't care how good your strategies are, and I don't care how good your psychology is. If you don't have enough capital at your disposal, again, you're going to be pushed into playing these, high risk options and just YOLOing and stuff like that.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. So
too much leverage. They would over leverage because it's a hard game. You're sitting in front of the chart. You got to make it worth your while. So they take these big shots.
Exactly.
You put a little horsepower behind it. You take these smaller base hits, and you could really make a name for yourself.
Absolutely, because that's the beautiful thing with Surge. You don't have to, because of the amount of capital that's available to you. You don't have to, to take all that risk, because again, you don't want to.
Right.
Anybody because again, I tell people, it's like you take your account size, okay, and you multiply it by 0.008, okay, all right, and that gives you a realistic amount of money that you're going to look to make with that account. Because again, anybody that thinks they're going to religiously make, they think they're Jim Simmons is going to make 50-60% on their account per year. Again, you're not going to do that, okay? So just get that out of your mind, okay? You're looking for realistically the potential to make 20 to 30% on that capital per year. If you think that you're going to outdo that, well, guess what? You're going to be getting interviewed all over the news, because you're going to be one of the best. Okay. So, and again,
right, of course.
And most of us are not ever going to be in a situation where you can guarantee you're going to make 30+% on your account. That is, again, there's just so much fairy dust in the trading industry. People just have unrealistic expectations. And for me, it's one of those things. It's just so irritating when I get people that come in and they're just like, oh, I want to make 50% on my account. It's like you don't understand that that's just not realistic. Again, if you want to make more money, you need to get a bigger Surge account. That's how it works. You don't make more.
It's all relative.
Yeah. Exactly. You don't make more money trying to make a bigger percentage on your account. Smart traders make more by trading more capital. So anyway, that's ultimately what
it sounds like you are the number one Surge proponent. I mean, we've been screaming that from the rooftops.
Yeah. Again, I tell people, they're like, oh, I want to get the 25K or the 50K account. More power to you, but understand that's a practice account. Okay, That's a practice account. You're not going to make serious capital with that. If you're okay making $50 to $150 a day, more power to you. If you think you're going to make more than that with your 25 to 50K account, guess what? You're going to be blown up. Guarantee it. It's not a matter of if, it's when, because of that leverage. Again, you cannot defy the odds of leverage. It's just not, again, you're just not Jim, Mark Minervini. You're not Mark Minervini. You're not Jim Simmons. So again, it's not going to happen. So just get that out of your mind. Get a bigger Surge trade account, okay? Get high quality strategies. And then on top of that, now you have mountain number 3 is the psychology of trading. Okay, because you can have phenomenal strategies. Like, for example, again, I would not trade our 8 strategies with anybody. For example, today, whenever we were trading the S&P or the ES, we have a price action strategy that, kept us out of trouble all along the way. And again, it's a price action strategy that I'd put it up against any of them. It's not even competition. You're head and shoulder, all that junk. Again, by far the most powerful price action strategy that I found in the stock market. And again, it's just a pattern that everybody sees every single day, Forex, any market you're in, and you don't even pay attention to it because you've seen it so many times, and it's just an algorithm movement. But again, I don't care how good your strategies are, you still have to get down the psychology. And what's the psychology of trading? You have to spend years. I hate to break it to people. You're going to have to spend 1 to 3 years with those high quality strategies and all that surge capital. Okay, you're going to have to spend that time, one, getting the amount of reps, the amount of trades, which is usually anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 trades. And then just the time factor, time on task. So, I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I mean, this is this is the reality of trading. That's why, again, I call it
Right.
precision.
It's a hard game.
It is.
Yeah.
That's why I call it Precision Trader University. Okay, you're going in here expecting, hey, I'm going to invest years of my time, and then after I spent those years of time, and guess what? I'm going to come out of here with a very high level skill and ability that I can go into the world and make money with. And it's the same thing with trading. If you think you're going to come into trading and take the shortcuts, no, it's just not going to happen, man. It's just not. So
right, absolutely. Share with me a couple success stories from maybe some of your students who have not rushed the process. Maybe they've gone through it, had some ups and downs, and then they came out the other end, and now they're making consistent profit.
Yeah, so just a couple of them right off the top of my head. One of them is Soar. He's like I said, he really 7 years of losing. I got to give it to this guy. He
stuck with it.
His realized losses in his tax account was just he just kept adding to him year after year. Anyway, so he ends up finding me right around the beginning of 2020, because again, I was still putting strategies, patterns and strategies together. Like I said, I started sharing one of the strategies at the end of 2021, and then by the end of 2022, we had all 8 of them. Okay, so it took me about a year to put them all together. And again, once traders started using them and taking advantage of them, they started. For example, he was one of the first. Him and another guy were the first guys in the server that started day trading with me. We started doing live trading during the day. It was just us 3. We were the 3 amigos. And anyway, so he took the strategies. He took the strategies and also to the indicators that because that's another thing too. I put together all this in a precision indicator course or precision day trading course. Everything is there, including the indicators and all that. And one of the keys for him too was understanding the algorithm levels in the market. So there's algorithmic trading lines in the market that the market buys and sells off just robotically. So again, he took that knowledge. He took that knowledge and the indicators, and also our strategies. And man, he went to work. So needless to say, in that 1 year from 2020 to the end of 2023, that 7 years of loss, he knocked off about 80% of the loss from 7 years.
Wow. Awesome.
In 1 year. Wow. Now, granted, he went too fast. I told him, I was like, I had to keep throttling him back. I was like, man, I know you're excited and that's, you're doing great with it. I was like, but you're going too fast. I was like, when you're in a situation where you get to the point where you can make $5, $10, $15, $20,000, I was like, that's not. That you're going too fast, man. And it's one of those that he's had a couple hiccups along the way, and he's finally realized that, because he was trading personal capital. Because again, when we got together in 2021, there was no surge trader. So now, finally, over the last month or so, I finally just now got him in to getting into funded trading, and he passed the challenge like a week. But anyway, awesome. So it's one of those that it's powerful stuff. So like I said, very, very, very happy for his story. Another trader in the server. He's actually got a couple accounts, funded accounts passed, Surge and Top Step. Anyway, just really again came into the server, put his biases aside and said, hey, what are these strategies? And he just started robotically implementing them. And then, man, he's just taking off.
Awesome.
But again, great. I don't expect that for most people. Because again, most people, including myself, again, I hate to lose, man. I hate losing way more than I enjoy winning.
That's that third mountain.
Exactly. Right. That's that. And it's a monster. And again, it's one of those that the majority of traders, you're gonna have to spend the 1 to 3 years. Even with extremely high probability strategy, you're just gonna have to go through it. You're just gonna have to see what it's like when you don't take your stop, when you don't follow the rules. But the key, again, going back to the strategy mountain, is you gotta have objective strategies. Again, all of our strategies, everything is objective. There is nothing in there. Well, I feel like or I think. No.
Sure.
The entry zone is defined. The exit zone, the take profit zones are defined. And the stop loss is defined for everything.
Almost like a checklist. You're bringing
absolutely
through a very systematic.
Literally, we actually have a trading. Again, that's why I tell them it's like an airplane pilot. They have a pre-flight checklist. That's the same thing for us. We have a trading checklist. Okay, what's the ATR? Okay, where's the ATR? What strategy am I using? Is this how do I grade it? Is this an A or an A plus setup? All these things that we have to grade before we get into a trade. Extremely extremely powerful stuff.
What's the pre-market analysis look like? Is it a quick 10 minutes? Is it 2 hours?
Man, see, that's the other big thing too. I don't like to waste a lot of time outside of that from the open to 3 hours. I don't like to spend a lot of time on the market. I'm a very busy man. I mean, I live in other countries. I help people with trading. I trade myself the first 3 hours of the morning, but the rest of the day, I'm a Christian minister. So it's one of those that I have a lot of other, and I have 3 businesses. So it's like, I don't have a lot of time to spend outside of market hours. So for us, there's really no need to look at pre-markets and after-markets, anything like that. Because of our strategies, as soon as the market opens, we're able to go to all the spots based on the strategies. Okay, there's going to be an entry, there's an entry. We set all the entries, all the probable entries for the day. And then from that point, we'll hang out, visit. One of those entries, one of those entry levels gets close. We'll start off focusing on it, get in it, make our money, 2 to 20 minutes out of there, move to the next trade. So no, cool. There's no need for any pre-market analysis, due diligence, all that kind of stuff. Because again, like I said, I'm just more power to people that do. There's a lot of people I know they spend a lot of time outside of the market, but for our strategies, like I said, you're only in the market for those 3 hours of the day, and then you go on about your life.
Are these typically going to be set and forget, where you know your entry, you know your exit, you put your stop loss, and you let it roll? Or are you going to be adjusting that stop loss during?
No, there's only one strategy. There's only one of the 8 strategies that gives you the ability to adjust. That's it. And again, those don't happen very often. That's the only one that you can justify. You know what? Hey, I'm gonna hold on to this a little bit longer, because again, we know that the algorithms and the patterns of it, it's just a matter of time before it comes back, type of situation. But no, it's one of those that there's no. Now, if you want to set limit orders on the levels and then just set them there with the stop loss and then go about your business, it's fine. But for me, it's one of those that I'm already with the traders live, so it's like I like to just get in there, play it live, because again, the trade is not going to be a long time. I mean, it's like I said, from 2 to 5 minutes. I'd say, but the 2 to 5 minute time frame, I'd say probably about 40% of the trades are over in that time. 5 to 10 minutes, another 40% are over. So 80% of the trades are done by 10 minutes, and then that last 10 to 20 minutes, you may 10 to 20% of the trades go that long. So it's a situation where we're not.
You're in there. You can manage it. No need to get walk away from the screen. It's just more hands on. But you have a systematic rule set to exit that trade need be.
Absolutely. Again, everything's objective. The entry range, the entry range. There's an entry range for everything. There's an exit range. There's a scale out profit, and there's a stop. So there's never, like I said, there's nothing subjective about any of our strategies. Everything awesome. Is clear.
That's clear.
Because again, in my opinion, that's if a trader is truly going to succeed in the long term, he needs objective strategies. If you're trying to do I feel like this is a good spot, I feel like this is a good place to enter around here, it's like, no, I hate to break it to you. You're never going to get to the top of the strategy mountain. You have to have objective. Now again, there are some unique traders out there that have a great just feel for the market, and again,
that's very rare.
It's rare.
Very rare.
It's rare. Like I tell people, that's not going to be you. Don't expect that to be you. You're not the person that's going to make 50% on your account. You're not the person that's just going to have that nuance of gut feeling of trading and just make all this money. That's not going to be you. You, like me, you're going to need objective strategies that you can take advantage of day in, day out, and that you can rely on, because again, the market is extremely algorithmic trading. It's just prices.
Right, of course, it's just repeating patterns over and over.
100%.
You're just looking to identify those patterns.
100%. That's it, man.
What about trade journaling? Do you bring your guys through trade journals?
Yeah,
this is more that third mountain.
Yeah, I definitely recommend the trade journals. I definitely have 3. I do like y'all's new hub there. That's really nice for traders to be able to take advantage of Surge. I mean, that's really useful for them to be able to. So yeah, appreciate y'all putting the time and effort into putting up the new hub, because again, traders need to be able to see that. It's one thing for you to think, oh, I'm doing this or I'm doing that. It's like, no, it's the reality of it is. Did the facts show that? So trader, you have to be able to.
That's the hardest part. You got to be honest with yourself.
That's it. You got to be able to see. You got to be able to see the evidence. If you don't have the evidence for it, then it's just it's just what you think. So
right. So okay, so we went through. You bring a guy in, you give him the strategies, you tell him it's going to take a year to 2 years make sure he does the repetitions.
1 to 3.
What is his career? 1 to 3, exactly. What does his career look like after that? Does he stay with you? A lot of these guys branch off on their own.
Man, I'll be honest with you. A lot of traders that, they come in, they start implementing it as prescribed. They're still there with me. Because again, I mean, it's there's something to be said about having a trading community as well.
Community's huge, absolutely.
Again, you can, because again, it's also too. It's always nice having a second opinion. The Bible says that there's a lot of you can get a lot of success through multiple advisors. So when you have multiple people to be able to, okay, hey, what do you think about this play? Looking at it from their angle, it can definitely help you to see that. Oh, you know what? This is actually not an A setup. This is actually a B setup, man. So you might want to wait here, or wait for it to get to another key level. So that's hard. It's hard to beat that. So anyway, so I definitely, now again, I have had traders that have taken my strategies and been like, hey, thank you. I mean, I don't know how many of these I've had. Thank you, appreciate it. I can't thank you enough for the strategies. It's just, literally, changing, life-changing, information, all that kind of stuff. And they're often doing their, just doing trading by themselves. And that's fine, because I'm not trying to help other people and coach. I trade by myself. I'm a lone wolf, man. When I'm trading, I could just sit there and I'm just in the zone, and I don't have to talk to anybody or think about anything else. So I respect people that are like that, but at the same time, not everybody's like that. A lot of people.
How do you balance the two? How do you? I know. I've been in that zone before. I'm trading. I don't like any distractions, and then you got to run over to the Discord and call out signals. So
exactly.
How do you manage that?
It's extremely, as someone that's trying to help people and coach people, it's one of those that you have to prioritize your students first and foremost. I can't tell you how many times I've been sending out exits, because again, all these trades, like I said, 1,000+ trades. Again, we send out the entry, like I said, the Meta 310, 311. That was sent out probably 10, 15 minutes before it got there. So again, that's when I'm sending out these entries and these the exits, all that kind of stuff. Again, it's especially when it comes time for the exit. I can't tell you how many times that I've gave back money, or even lost money, because I'm sitting there trying to make sure I get the exit out to the guys, or telling them, and I miss, and I miss it. But again, it's one of those that, again, if you truly love people and you want students to succeed, you have to, like I said, always tell them your money and your success is more important than mine. Because again, for me, it's like, hey, I'm able to live out of the country. I have multiple businesses. I don't need trading to make my life any better. Okay. I'm totally fine. I'm content. I wouldn't trade lives with anybody. But again, I know there's a lot of people out there that they're trying to break free from the 9 to 5. They're trying to, so anyway, so I really want to help those guys.
No, but that really comes across in your character. Where does that come from? Had you been an educator in previous aspects of your life? I know you said you're a minister. Where's the education part come from?
Yeah, so that's it right there. I mean, so a decade plus of being a Christian minister, and like I said, living now in multiple countries. Like I said, and again, with my Christian ministry, a big part of it is I take people systematically, step by step through the Bible, objectively. Okay, we take a subject, for example, what happens to us when we die, and we pull out every single scripture in the Bible that has to do with it, and then we can get the Bible's answer to that versus religion's answer on that. So again, that type of teaching, being a very objective, very fact-based, again, get away from the I believes, I think, again, that like I said, I took that.
Interesting. So you've taken the same approach to teaching trading.
Absolutely. Again, that's why I was on the hunt for things that were objective in the market, patterns that kept repeating, things like that. Because I was like, I can't deal with the subjective strategies, guys. I can't deal with sometimes I'll enter the VWAP here, sometimes I won't, or this supply and demand up here, or this one on the 4 hour, the 2 hour. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I won't continue to trade if I have to rely on that stuff. So it was one for me. It's like, either I find objective strategies, okay, or I'm not going to trade. That's it. So it was for me. It was one or the other. So thankfully, I was able to, figure it out and put it to do my version of innovation with the market and be able to share that. And again, like I said, I can't tell you how many comments that I've had. This is life-changing information. Again, it's one of those that I really enjoy teaching people. And because again, for example, with my Christian ministry, I never made one penny in all these years, and I never will take a penny from it. Because again, ultimately, the Bible says that you shouldn't take money with, for sharing that type of stuff. So, because again, you receive free, you get free. Now with the market, it's a business. Again, if I'm
Sure,
gonna
of course.
take time away from myself and my family, yes, I expect to be compensated. And again, everybody that learns the strategies and go through PTU, again, there's never been one person that says, "Hey, can I have my money back?" Never one, not one. Not one that said, no, I don't. I've learned this stuff before. That's the other thing too. I tell my
Do you have any crossover? Is the training in PTU Christian based?
No. So pretty much, I do have people that reach out to me and say, "Hey, I would like to do a systematic study of the Bible," which I always offer. Whatever slots I have available. For example, I have multiple students that are absolutely going through a systematic study of the Bible. Like I said, taking all the different subjects of the Bible, and we're pulling out every single scripture that deals with those. And again, they're taking that information to ultimately be able to rely on what the Bible says versus what religion says, because there's thousands of different religions, too many I believes, and again, I don't mess with the I believes, man. I want objective, facts. Can I back it up in multiple places? So, anyway,
awesome.
So that's it in a nutshell.
What does PTU look like in 5 years?
Oh, I was actually talking to the traders about that today. I said, guys, looking out 3 to 5 years, I absolutely expect millionaire traders. Now, again, am I encouraging people, to just get filthy rich, that type of thing? No, I just know that when you factor in surge trader and the capital that's available to people, and you factor in the strategies and people following them as prescribed, the sky is the limit. So
why couldn't they? Why couldn't they make $1 million with $1 million account, right?
Absolutely.
Might not be 1 year, but over the course of a few years.
Absolutely. Yeah, because again, that's one thing. That's the running theme in our PTU. We always say, well, we didn't lose because of the strategies. We all there's no. I can't think of a situation where we can look back again. Maybe a handful of them, a handful of times where it's just, there was a news event or something crazy, a squeeze in the market, and you say, wow, that we got stopped out. There was nothing we could do about it. But again, that's rare. Everything else, every single play you can look at and be like, oh, okay, if you lose, you know exactly why you lost. It's never, because again, that was the frustrating thing for me with strategies. It's like, I couldn't look at all these other strategies and be like, okay, did I just lose? Did I lose because I messed up, or was it just didn't work out that time, So again, it's not objective. So again, you need to have that objectivity to be able to say, okay, why exactly did I lose?
So what are the main reasons for the losses then? Is it going to be missing time, wrong exits?
The 100% reason for the losses will be you ignored the stop loss. That's it. Now, again, as far as the amount of times that the stop actually gets hit, that $1.55 stop, the amount of times that's going to, for example, use Meta today as an example, 310 in our 311 entry. The amount of times that it's going to go to 310, go to 310 and go straight to 311.55 and stop you out without giving you at least around 50 cents to $1 worth of profit, the chances of that happen is very slim. Very slim. So the vast majority of the time, what happens when there's a loser, for example, they've gotten their, around $1 profit and they don't want it. They don't want to scale off any profit. Because again, the idea is, I always tell people, it's like, hey, you can't, you can be a bull, you can be a bear, you can't be a pig in the stock market. When the strategies are prescribed, now again, we have other strategies we're expecting $2 to $5 worth of profit on those strategies. But again, you're not going to get that on all the strategies. The patterns, the algorithms, that's not how they work. So you take advantage of the algorithm, whichever strategy you're playing, you follow that algorithm as prescribed. So the losers come when you just don't want to respect, when you don't want to respect the $1.55 above your. Now again, if you, for example, like today on Meta, it was 311.55. So if you got in at 311, it was only a 55-cent stop. Okay.
Right.
So again,
the stop doesn't change.
The stop doesn't change.
Your entry gets better, but the stop doesn't change.
The stop never changes. The stop is always, and also too within this, we do have a way to make this, the stops even more precise, which we call our push through wick high or SML wick high, that you can, make it even more, get it even more precise as far as taking a stop out if needed. But again, the vast majority of the time, you're taking your stop out on a runner portion. The bulk of your position should already be, at least a quarter to a half should already be taken off in profit. So yeah, it's one of those getting.
So a lot of it's inventory management. I mean, you're actually managing that position, making sure that you're respecting those stops, making sure you're protecting that downside. and the upside.
Yeah. Now, granted, you can always, like I said, if you just want to, if you're the type of person you can't watch the trade, you just go in, you put your $1.55 stop above, you put your entry, and then you put your, your take profit or whatever it is, 75 cents to a dollar, in the profit, and then you go on, go on about your business, and there you go. You'll just, take what it gives you. And again, you'll have, great success just doing that right there. But at the same time, there's a lot of value in, like I said, getting the live reps.
Sure.
Learning how to scale in and scale out of positions. So yeah, like I said, it's, and again, just depending on what strategy, for example, we have momentum-based strategies that, again, when you talk about trying to catch momentum in the market, I mean, I wouldn't trade it with anything else. All these people are trying to, I'm going to play the bull flag, the bull flag. My question is, like, not all bull flags are made the same. Yeah,
sure.
Not all bull flags.
Absolutely.
So, for example, we call it our MLS strategy. I mean, you talk about again, there's certain areas in the market where taking the pullbacks puts you, again, you wouldn't think this, but can put you in a win or break even situation where either you're going to get into that momentum trade, it's either going to win, or you're going to pull back and you get into a situation where, bam, you can get out of there, break even, no harm, no foul. So again, like I said, the more strategies you can have where you can get in this trade and you know that, hey, even if I'm wrong, the algorithm has to come back to this level and give me a break even. So the more strategies you can find. For example, we Costco this morning, we played Costco. I forgot about that. One of the traders called out that said, hey, Costco's fallen through the floor. So we look at it and we realize, oh my goodness, it fell through a monster moving, because again, we found all the monster moving averages from the daily, weekly, monthly, back tested the best of the best. Undeniably, these, institutions, algorithms are buying on these levels. We saw one dump through, what was it, 250, was it 455 on Costco? And then we saw it also dump through 450, okay, which we know is also a monster level, and it never came back and retested on it. And it fell all the way down to, what was it, 443? 443? I was like, guys, you may have to swing this at worst. I was like, but Costco has to go back to 450, guys. And it's probably going to go back to 455. Okay. I was like, it has to go back and retest that monster, and it has to go back and test that. I was like, the algorithms have to. I was like, guys, try to find me an example.
What time frame were you trading it on?
Oh, I don't care. It doesn't matter what time frame you're trading it on. Like I said, we were trading intraday, but we said, hey, worst case scenario, we may have to hold this for some swing for the pump back into 450. Now, did we end up having to hold it? No. Costco ends up ripping. Hold on, let me look at it as we. Hold on, let me pull it up here so I can. Okay, so prime example. So I'm sorry, it was not 455 or 443. It was actually 543 today. Okay, so anyway, if you look at it again, we've already ripped back up into 550 and 555. So the monster's been retested, and also the $10 or the $5 increment there has been retested. So both of them levels have been, again, and that's situations where I tell guys, if you're looking to get into some swing trading, situations where the market has to come back and retest the level at a minimum, because again, it's monster liquidity. Because that's really what the market, anytime, the highest probability will always be identifying the largest liquidity in the market, the largest amount of buyers and sellers on a level. And then either you can play right at that level, or you can let it push through that level and then play the recovery back into it. So, for example, like on Costco today, prime example of, for example, if you're looking at trying to get an intraday play, again, we were able to take it off intraday. But again, even for swing purposes, being able to identify key levels and see it go through them and have to come back on them, man, that's, again, puts you in a situation where it's your win or break even, and again, that's the safest place that you can be in the markets as far as I'm concerned.
That's awesome. So before I let you go, and I really appreciate your time, how can people find you? How do they find I know you're on YouTube. I know you've got a Discord. Where do people need to go?
Yeah, like I said, I really don't do the advertising, guys. I'm sorry. I would much rather help people with, like I said, the little bit of YouTube videos that I've shared. Did a couple of shorts, because everybody's like, hey, you need to do some shorts. But anyway, so for me, it's like, hey, just sharing some education on there, and then for whenever people find me there, and also to word of mouth. Yeah, that's it. So just Precision Trader University, search it on YouTube and stuff like that. So,
okay. So we're gonna put the link in the description here as well.
Appreciate it.
You guys can take a look at it. Yeah, our pleasure.
Yeah, I'm never gonna be a big marketer, man. Sorry.
Yeah, it seems the guys who do the least marketing are the ones who have the the real sauce. So that's something to be said for.
Hey, it is what. Now I'm glad y'all market. So it's one of those that I'm glad for
Of
that
course.
product. Because again, like I said, I was searching high and low, guys. I was searching high and low. I'm like, man, I was like, there's prop firms out there. I was like, man, if we can find a prop firm that will allow us to trade, granted, we can make money with Forex and stuff. I was like, but again, I want to give my guys the highest probability of success. It's like, if we can find somebody that will allow us to trade stocks. Okay. They don't have goofy, ridiculous rules. Because that's as soon as I found Surge and I started going through your rules, because I can tell real quick which prop firms are just trying to get money, trying to, just get as many people in there so they can just suck their, their initial investment out of them, and who's actually looking to help traders succeed based on their
Right.
rules. And when I looked at Surge, I was like, look at this. I was like, this is the first prop firm that I found that I can absolutely say that they 100% want to see traders succeed. Yeah. So it was
Absolutely correct.
yeah. So once I
Thank you
saw
for acknowledging that.
oh yeah, it's undeniable, man. So once I saw that, I was like, I have to start, telling people about this and taking advantage of it. So yeah, like I said, it's powerful stuff. Can't recommend Surge Trader enough.
Awesome. Well, Brett, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to having you on again, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Corey. You enjoy the rest of your day, sir.
You too, sir. Bye-bye.